Hey guys, want to make a quick video today. Going to show some 1972 football and basketball baseball cards. It's my favorite year of cards all across the board, the 72s. And they were really the first cards I remember opening. I was 10 years old in 1972. And so these cards are near and dear to me because it's really the first packs I remember opening. And here's a real nice Fran Tarkenton. You can just see on the football cards how it's got just the real nice bold letters of the team. And that's something that always just stood out to me about the 72s was the boldness of the team, and for all the sports. But in the back had just kind of a interesting blue and green on a gray background. And I just remember looking at these cards over and over in 1972, 73. And just they always bring back such good memories, the 72 cards. And I was going to run through some football cards that I have. They're not graded, but really like these Pro Action cards. Bob Greasy. And had a little question on the back, a trivia question. And, always interesting, but like the Pro Action cards. And here's a nice LC Greenwood. You can see they're playing the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl with the palm trees in the background. I always thought that was pretty neat. Here's a George Farmer with the Chicago Bears, and you can see they weren't licensed because they didn't have the logos on the helmets playing the Redskins. And Melfar, a really good defensive back with the Detroit Lions. Roman Gabriel, one of the great quarterbacks, had just a great arm with the Eagles and the Rams, mainly with the Rams. And of course, me being a cheesehead, I love my Packer cards. Ken Ellis, he was a really good defensive back for the Packers. Ken Bowman, center. Lynn Barney for the Detroit Lions, he was a really, really good defensive back in the 60s and 70s. Nick Bonacani, one of the leaders on the no-name defense for the Miami Dolphins in the 70s. And probably one of my favorite Packers of all time, John Brockington, out of Ohio State. And the jersey they're wearing was they were like the all-college team when they played the professional championship team. So it was kind of like the all-college team, all-stars for college. But John Brockington, great player. John Brody, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame in the NFL, a great quarterback. Here's the great Willie Brown, defensive back for the Raiders. This card kind of makes me a little bit sad. Herb Adderley, of course, a great Lombardi Packer, finished up his career with the Dallas Cowboys. Herb Adderley. Here's one of my favorite cards, Bubba Smith. Big Bubba. I always remember this card as a kid. Fred Cox, a great kicker for the Vikings, but he was having a bad hair day in this picture. And yeah, great player. And then MacArthur Lane of the Packers. He'd been traded from the St. Louis Cardinals to the Green Bay Packers, and that was kind of a photo shop jersey there. A great Hall of Famer, David Robinson, for the Green Bay Packers out of Penn State, and just a great linebacker. Ronnie Hornsby. Again, he was an All-American and drafted by the Giants. And I always liked this one with Raymond Chester. He was a really good tight end in football, but just kind of a cool picture. I remember this card as a kid. And of course, I love the basketball. And again, they weren't licensed, so you can see that Jerry Wester has his jersey turned around with his back actually in the front. And just a great player. But again, I just love the bold team name. Same with the football, just the bold team name, and I just love that design going from small to large in the letters. And again, a pretty simple back, and the great Jerry West. So love this card here. Real happy to have that. They had all-star cards also as well, and here's a Dan Issel, first team ABA All-Star. And for those who don't know, Dan Issel was just a great basketball player. Really until probably the last 15 years, he was in the top 10, maybe all-time in scoring. And here's the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the Bucks. I just love this card. I grew up as a Bucks fan in the early 70's, listening to Lou Alcindor, Kareem, Oscar Robertson. Just a great card. And you can see this is his 4th year card, as he'd had 3 seasons under his belt. But Kareem, just a great player. Top 5 in my opinion. And Johnny Havlicek, the great Boston Celtic. Just love these 72 cards. So they bring back a lot of memories of my childhood. And here's the great Willie Mays in a baseball for the 72s. And again, you can see the team names again are just rather striking. The 72 cards for baseball. I just love the way how the team name is like that. I've lost the word that I wanted to use for it, but just love the effect of the team name. It just, to me, screams early 70s, and the 72 set was just a great set. And it's a nice Willie Mays card. I believe it is his last card with the Giants, because the next year he was with the New York Mets. The great Lou Brock with the Cardinals. Also in the 72 set, they had the In Action card. And here we have Louis Aparicio in action. And there were a lot of in action cards. You didn't have to be a superstar to have an in action card. There were a lot of them. But nice Louis Aparicio in action. The great Steve Carlton with the Cardinals. I believe this is his last year with the Cardinals before he moved on to the Phillies. And I really like their rookie cards for this year, the rookie stars. And here, one of my favorite cards, you got the man in the middle, Cecil Cooper. Of course, Carlton Fisk, the Hall of Famers on this card too, and Mike Garman. But really do like the 72 stars, the rookie cards, and just a real interesting set. The 72 set was really a large set. The high numbers in baseball get really expensive. The high numbers in football are ridiculously expensive. That's one of the hardest, the high number. There were 3 series, I believe, and that 3rd series is very difficult. But thanks for taking a walk with me here through the 72 football cards, baseball, and basketball cards. Just a fun set to collect, the 72s, for all 3 sports in my opinion. Anyways, everyone enjoy the night and take care.